Rivals Radio.
What's good, Rivals Nation? You're locked into Rivals Radio on the Rivals Broadcast Network. I'm Wally, bringing the heat with Dee here. And today, we are embarking on a deep dive.
That's right.
Right into the very fabric of the college football season. We're cutting through the noise, getting those insights, directly from the league front office, giving you the full recap of Week 0 and a detailed preview of Week 1. It's kicking off big time.
Oh, yeah.
The energy around the league is just electric, and I gotta say, if Week 0 was any indication, we are in for an absolutely wild ride this season.
Well, you're not kidding. Week 0 really was just a thrilling appetizer, right? Like a 5-game sampler that somehow it just set the stage perfectly for what's coming.
Yeah.
It felt like the whole college football world was kind of holding its breath. And then, bam, we got some immediate storylines, real interesting stuff.
Okay, let's unpack those Week 0 matchups then. Give us the rundown, because even with just 5 games, there were some truly fascinating narratives popping up. What really stood out when you peeled back the layers?
All right, let's start with BYU's hard-fought 10-6 win over Maryland. Now, on paper, you see that low score, maybe think dull game.
Right, maybe a bit boring.
Not at all. This was really a masterclass in defensive football. Both teams, they consistently stifled drives, forced turnovers on downs, lots of punts.
Okay.
From the league front office perspective, this was less about offensive struggles and more about two incredibly disciplined defensive units just setting a physical tone right away.
Setting the tone early. I like it.
Exactly. Maryland's D-line, in particular, looked really stout. They were challenging every single snap. BYU, meanwhile, they showed that kind of bend-don't-break ability, Got key third downs on offense when it mattered most.
That's that grit you love to see early season, right? Teams showing they can win ugly if they have to.
Yeah.
But then we saw Oregon State surviving a scare, and that always kind of raises an eyebrow.
Indeed. Yeah, Oregon State managed a 16-3 win against FCS Southeast, but that score really doesn't tell the full story.
Okay.
So for anyone new to the Rivals College series, you got to know our FCS teams aren't just like easy wins. They're formidable programs, often packed with raw talent looking to make a name.
Right. They can definitely play spoiler.
Oh, absolutely. They can spoil a higher-ranked team's season if they're underestimated.
Yep.
FCS Southeast, the groupers, as some scouts call them.
The groupers, okay.
Yeah, for their tenacious, swarming defense. They showed incredible resilience. They pushed Oregon State, kept it close deep into the fourth quarter, and honestly exposed some early season kinks in Oregon State's O-line. It was a stark reminder. In this league, no game is a guaranteed win. Doesn't matter who you're playing.
So the groupers served notice then. Okay. What other Week 0 battles caught your eye? Any other surprising performances or early statements?
All right, here's where it gets really interesting. Maybe the biggest storyline of Week 0, Missouri. They staged this fantastic comeback against Illinois.
Against Illinois,
yeah. Stunning last season's Heisman winner, Will Hall, and their leader, Freddie Mallett, in a thrilling 17-14 victory right in the final seconds.
No way. That's huge.
It was a great game, and that wasn't just a win. That was like a profound statement from Missouri's program. To beat a team with that kind of star power, especially the reigning Heisman winner, in a nail-biter.
Yeah.
It suggests Missouri has, a mental fortitude and coaching adjustments that are going to make them a team to watch. They stayed composed under huge pressure, and their late-game execution. Flawless.
That's a massive confidence boost heading into the season. Okay, any other quick takeaways from Week 0 before we jump into this Week 1 onslaught?
Just a couple more real quick. UNLV, they showed impressive control over Buffalo, got a solid 27-9 win.
Okay, decisive.
Yeah, our league analyst noted UNLV showcased a balanced attack, proving they're not just one-dimensional, managed the clock well, capitalized on Buffalo's mistakes. That's the kind of maturity you want to see early.
Definitely.
And then, in that big ACC rivalry game, Notre Dame absolutely blanked Miami 2000-0.
A shutout. Wow.
Yeah. That's a powerful message from the Fighting Irish. Miami's offense, which, everyone expected to be explosive, was just completely neutralized. Notre Dame's defensive coordinator, man, clearly had a perfect game plan. Limited Miami's star receivers, constant pressure on the QB, that kind of defensive dominance this early, it bodes incredibly well for their season.
Absolutely. Week 0 gave us plenty to chew on. Really set the stage.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean now for Week 1? Because looking at the schedule, it's about to get real. This is where the true depth of the league really starts to show itself.
It's about to get real, Wally. Week 1 ramps it up significantly. A full slate of games kicking off starting this Monday. You're going to want to clear your calendars, folks, because those storylines from week 0, they're about to collide with a whole fresh wave of competition.
All right, hit us with a full rundown then. Rivals Nation needs to know when and where to tune in and which early battles are going to set the tone for the whole season.
Let's dive right into it. On Monday, first up, Cincinnati battling Texas at 6 p.m. This is an intriguing one. Texas, with their strong recruiting class, against a Cincy team known for that greedy D.
Good test for both to start.
Definitely. Then, 8 p.m., FCS East goes up against number 4 Michigan. And remember what we just said about FCS teams.
Don't sleep on them.
Exactly. While Michigan is top 5, FCS East has a history of making these early games uncomfortable. It's a classic discipline test for the Wolverines right out of the gate.
Michigan facing FCS East early. Always a test to focus. Can they avoid that trap game? What about Tuesday?
Tuesday brings us FCS West versus Louisville at 6 p.m., another FCS challenge for a power conference team. And then 8 p.m., Rutgers takes on Florida State. This is one of my personal must-watches.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
Both teams are looking to make an early impression, prove they belong in that national conversation. Rutgers' new OC is rumored to be bringing a more high-flying attack, and Florida State's defense is always suffocating.
Intriguing.
This could be a sneaky good game. Huge implications for early season momentum. Really could be.
Rutgers versus Florida State. Yeah, definitely potential for a statement game there. Okay, Wednesday. You mentioned a top team in action.
Yep. On Wednesday, FCS Southeast, the groupers we just talked about.
The ones who scared Oregon State.
They face number 7 NC State at 6 p.m. NC State needs to show they can handle that physicality FCS Southeast brings, especially after what Oregon State went through. Big for NC State to stamp their authority.
Good point.
And then the prime 8 p.m. slot features Hawaii going up against your number 1 ranked Ohio State.
Whoa. Number 1 already in action.
Can Hawaii pull off the unthinkable against the undisputed top team? Our analytics from the league office suggest, an astronomical challenge. But upsets are built on moments like these.
True enough.
That's a definitive must-watch if there ever was one.
Number 1 Ohio State right away. That's how you set a tone. Okay, Thursday's matchups.
Thursday gives us Notre Dame, fresh off that impressive shutout, against number 10 Florida at 6 p.m.
Another ranked matchup.
Right out of the gate. It'll be fascinating to see if Notre Dame's D can replicate that week 0 performance against Florida's talented offense. Then, San Diego State takes on Texas A&M at 8 p.m. A&M has some new faces on defense. San Diego State could test their cohesion early.
Notre Dame versus Florida.
Yeah,
another early measuring stick for both programs. Got any Friday night lights for us?
Absolutely. Friday features FCS West against Georgia Tech at 6 p.m. Georgia Tech needs a strong showing here after kind of an inconsistent preseason.
Okay.
And then a matchup that could truly shake up the top 25. Number 13 LSU versus number 18 North Carolina at 8 p.m.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah. From our scouting reports, both teams have explosive offensive talent, but there are questions, about their defensive secondaries. This game could be a shootout.
High scoring potential.
Totally.
Wow.
The team that makes a key defensive stop or forces that critical turnover, that'll define the outcome. You do not want to miss that one.
LSU and North Carolina, yeah. That's primetime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Major ranking implications there. And Saturday, the biggest day, always packed.
Saturday is just wall-to-wall football, Rivals Nation. Starts early, Eastern Michigan versus Maryland at 8 a.m., then FCS West versus Liberty at 9 a.m., followed by FCS East facing South Carolina at 10 a.m.
Keeping track here.
Then Florida Atlantic plays Oklahoma State at 11 a.m., FCS Northwest meets Minnesota at 12 p.m., and FCS West goes against Coastal Carolina at 1 p.m. Now, each of these early games, maybe not the national headliners, right?
Right.
But they offer crucial chances for teams to refine things, for players to showcase skills. Our scouts are definitely watching those closely.
Good point. The whole league is watching.
But then, the evening brings us another monumental game. Number 21, Utah versus number 3, Oklahoma at 6 p.m.
Okay, that's the one.
This is arguably the biggest game of the entire weekend. Oklahoma, national title contender, against a perennially tough Utah team known for their physical style. This is going to be a battle in the trenches, every yard earned.
Love those kinds of games.
And to close it all out, Kansas faces San Jose State at 8 p.m.
Wow. That is a full weekend right there. Okay, out of all those games, beyond just the rankings, which ones are like circled on your calendar, the absolute must-watches, and more importantly, why? What makes them so critical from this deep dive perspective?
You know, it's true a lot of teams are facing what look like tune-ups, maybe, but the matchups you absolutely cannot miss are number 13 LSU versus number 18 North Carolina.
Okay, got that one.
Rutgers versus Florida State.
The sneaky good one.
And that incredible clash between number 21 Utah and number 3 Oklahoma. What's so fascinating here, Wally, is these games. They offer the most significant potential for early season upsets, or just profound statements that could completely reshape the top 25.
Right, shake things up immediately.
Exactly. Like LSU North Carolina isn't just top 25, it's a test. Can that high-octane offense compensate for a defense that's still maybe developing? The team that performs under pressure in the red zone forces that turnover. They'll immediately climb the ladder.
Makes sense.
With Rutgers and Florida State, it's all about early momentum, defining identity. FSU, a consistent power, facing a Rutgers team that's clearly invested in a new strategy. Does the established power hold, or does the challenger announce itself?
Good question.
And then Utah-Oklahoma. That's a clash of philosophies, right? Oklahoma's explosive offense versus Utah's tenacious D and physical ground game. If Utah can limit OU's big plays, they could grind out a shocker that sends ripples across the entire top 25. Creates immediate chaos.
Chaos is fun.
These aren't just games. They're chances for teams to make a definitive statement, for dark horses to emerge, for the early season narratives to truly begin.
You're right. The top 25 could look very different by next week with all these high-stakes games. Let's talk about those current rankings then, because they're the foundation for all this week one talk, and every team's looking to climb.
Indeed. Rivals Nation, here's how things stand heading into week one. Your current top 5 are number 1, Ohio State, number 2, Georgia, number 3, Oklahoma, number 4, Michigan, and number 5, Penn State. These teams, man, they are under immense pressure to perform. Big targets on their backs.
No doubt. The top spots are always tough to hold.
And rounding out the rest of the top 25, we have number 6, Clemson, number 7, NC State, number 8, USC, number 9, Texas, number 10, Florida, number 11, Pittsburgh, 12, UCLA, 13, LSU, 14, Indiana, 15, Oregon, and 16, SMU, 17, Texas Tech, 18, North Carolina, 19, Auburn, 20, Miami.
Still in there despite the shutout.
Still in there. Then 21, Utah, 22, TCU, 23, Alabama, 24, Arizona State, and Arkansas at number 25. What's truly fascinating is how these rankings, which feel so set right now, they're about to be dramatically impacted by what happens this week.
Yeah, for sure.
And our new college specialist, Oscar Lewis, who, by the way, is already like a walking encyclopedia of player stats and schemes, he is absolutely pumped to analyze how these shake out after week one. He's been digging into the data, looking for those hidden variables.
You hit the nail on the head. Week 0 had those nail biters, surprising defensive fights, and week 1's got even more potential for just seismic shifts, especially with Oscar Lewis now on board, digging even deeper into that league front office data. Those ranked matchups, like number 13 LSU versus number 18 North Carolina, and especially number 21 Utah versus number 3 Oklahoma, could absolutely shake the top 25 early. And yeah, let's not forget number 1 Ohio State and number 10 Florida also in action, setting the standard, or trying to.
Yeah.
These aren't just games, they're like the first chapters in the stories of future stars.
Yeah.
The Football Rivals College Series is built on that player development. That whole scouting and recruiting system means these early games, they can define a player's entire trajectory, a breakout performance, or maybe a challenge they need to overcome.
Exactly.
It's going to set the tone for the entire college season, and yeah, potentially for a lot of careers too.
Absolutely, Wally. Rivals Nation, get ready for some thrilling action. These early matchups, especially with the high-stakes top 25 teams involved, they don't just impact the immediate rankings. They start to sculpt the storylines, the rivalries that will define this next generation of players, leading them towards potential pro league stardom.
Yeah.
The way teams adjust, the unexpected heroes who step up, that's what makes this league so compelling. We'll be back next week with all the updates and look ahead, so definitely stay tuned.
That's the scoop, folks. Be sure to follow all of the Lead social media accounts, subscribe to the channel for all your updates, and catch the games this weekend.
Thank you for listening from Rivals Radio on Rivals Broadcast Network.
And as you watch these week 1 games unfold, consider this. What subtle tactical shifts or maybe individual player performances in these early games might signal a completely different path for a team or a player than what those preseason rankings suggested? Could a hidden gem from one of those FCS teams suddenly, catapult themselves onto the national radar? Or will a preseason favorite stumble in a way that truly reshapes the top 25 by fundamentally altering how we see their strengths and weaknesses? The answers might surprise you.
It's Rivals Radio.